evening, everyone. Please come on and take your seats. We're about to get started. Actually, we're getting started right now. My name is Ray Latif. I'm the managing editor of BevNET, and welcome to BevNET Live Winter 2015. We're going to start with the New Beverage Showdown, New Beverage Showdown 10. It's the 10th edition of this competition, and this is my 10th time being a part of it, so it's really exciting to see all these new brands coming up here and pitching their business plans and their products to the judges and the audience. Let's briefly talk about the New Beverage Showdown. The Showdown is a way for new beverage brands to showcase their business plans and products in front of our 5 judges and the audience. It's a 2-day pitch competition interwoven with BevNET Live, and it's shown in front of 500 industry professionals as well as our live stream audience in attendance that's watching at home. The winner of the New Beverage Showdown gets $10,000 in cash and prizes and is sponsored by Venturing and Emerging Brands Group, a unit of Coca-Cola. So let's talk about the semifinal round. We have 15 brands participating. Each has 2 minutes to produce their best elevator pitch. They're allowed 1 slide, and the judges have already sampled all the products, so they know what they're tasting, or they know what they did taste, hopefully. And 6 brands will move on to the finals tomorrow, where they'll have 5 minutes to present and have 5 minutes to review. One quick note on here, each brand is going to have 2 minutes of review from the judges. So let's bring on the judges and introduce them really quickly. Come on up to the stage. Yes.
I think John sits there.
Wherever you want.
Anywhere you'd like to sit. All right, starting to my left, we have Kevin Clark, who's the CEO of Talking Rain, Rebecca Messina, the CMO of Venturing and Emerging Brands Group. We have John Craven, the founder of BevNET. We have Fred Hart, who's the creative director at Interact Boulder, and Ken Sadowski, who is the senior beverages advisor for Verlinvest. So this is a powerhouse panel, and they're going to give our brands the best feedback they can possibly give. So without further ado, let's bring up our first brand. And that would be Muse. Daniel Blake, where are you? Come on up to the stage. Round of applause for Daniel. All right, Daniel, you're going to have 2 minutes. You've got a timer right over here. And go ahead.
Awesome.
Here's your podium.
My name's Dan Blake. I'm one of the co-founders of Muse. Have you ever thought about what it takes to grow all the food in America? Getting food from the farm to our forks eats up 10% of the U.S. energy budget, uses over 20% of all the land in the U.S., and swallows over 80% of all the fresh water that we consume here in the United States. But as John Oliver put it, we have a problem with going from farm to not the table. We throw away over 40% of all the food that we grow. And specific to fruits and vegetables, it's over 50%. That's over $165 billion of wasted food, 30 million tons. That's enough to fill the Rose Bowl Stadium once every 3 days, all year long, with nothing but our food waste. Food waste is the single largest component of anything in U.S. landfills, where it rots and emits methane gas emissions, which is 20 times more damaging to the environment than CO2. If global food waste were a country, it'd be the 3rd largest emitter right after the US and China of greenhouse gas emissions. So why is it that we're wasting all this food? In large part, it's because it doesn't meet our superficial and cosmetic standards. As a society, we've decided that naturally looking, so not perfectly looking fruits and vegetables are too funny to be eaten, so they get thrown away. Think about that for a second. All of this food waste, all these wasted resources, simply because they're not meeting our cosmetic standards. Here at Muse, we take all these imperfect fruits and vegetables, the misfits, and make cold-pressed juices and other tasty treats. While they may appear flawed on the surface, they have the same taste and health benefits as perfectly shaped fruits. Muse started with the belief that diversity and imperfections aren't flaws to be corrected, but traits to be celebrated. Thank you.
Well done. Thanks so much. Nicely done, Daniel. All right, to the judges. Rebecca, let's start with you. What do you think of the pitch?
Well, it took a while to get to the punchline for me, but I actually didn't know any of that on the packaging from what we saw this morning, so I actually learned a lot. I think the backstory is great.
Great. John, or I'm sorry, Ken, you have some thoughts.
Well, I can definitely relate to ugly and funny. Those are, I do like the product attributes. I thought some of the executions, flavor-wise, were a little bit strong. Like the one that wanted to be cayenne was really cayenne, really citric acidy. But if some of that stuff can get mellowed out, thought it was a good product.
Great. Fred, what do you think of the branding?
I thought it looked very slick. I think there was no real story inherent in the overall design. This notion of perfect imperfections, wabi-sabi, taking something that may not be the most beautiful on the outside, but yet is still just as good as any other juice that I've had on the inside. I think there's a real opportunity to tell that story and bring that to life. So I think that's a definite place of improvement.
Mm-hmm. Kevin, does this brand have broad appeal, do you think?
Well, I think that one of the keys is the messaging and being able to get that messaging. And if the consumer was able to catch on to the messaging, certainly within that category, it could be something that's strong because it's got a sense of cause about it, which it seems to be important right now to the millennials.
Mm-hmm. John, you're a cold pressed juice enthusiast. What do you think of the brand overall and the taste of the product?
I think it tasted pretty nice. Kind of like the other judges said, it just, I guess the punchline wasn't really obvious. Like, I think this is the second time I've tried it actually, and didn't really know that was the story. So I think they just need to make that more clear and, get that out there quicker.
Amplify the message for sure. All right, terrific feedback. Let's move on to our next guest, or our next presenter, that is.